On today's program, I've got the great pleasure of introducing Dr. Luke Portelli. He's a Melbourne-based chiropractor who's heading off to Latin America to do some missionary work. Luke, welcome to Maltese DownUnder.
Thanks for having me.
This endeavour of yours to go to Latin America and do some missionary work is an incredible thing for anyone to do, let alone when somebody works in a busy practice and you're giving time away from your regular life to devote time to doing some goodwill. Mm-hmm. What inspired you to get involved, and where exactly are you going?
I'm going to Peru, a town called Arequipa, and also to Haiti. What inspired me to go? Well, I think it's a long story. I sort of just ended up with uni going to Samoa, and I was sort of exposed to this type of this missionary sort of work where I was just sort of donating my service as a chiropractor to the people, and seeing people that are maybe less privileged than us. And I think seeing that and then also reflecting back and seeing the position that I was sort of born into, I think that was the inspiration for basically just going out and giving what I have to offer.
So with doing this, I'm assuming that you're not there on your own doing this kind of work. Mm-hmm. How many people go on these missions, and who do you do it for or with?
Okay. So in Haiti, I'll be with a group of chiropractors, about 25 chiropractors. How I heard about this was a friend actually went to Panama years ago, and they had a group of chiropractors go there and adjust over half the population of Panama within the space of 2 weeks. And the university over in the States did a sociological study of Panama and found that the crime rates had dropped after this 2 weeks significantly. So this same group are going to Haiti, and I thought, well, after hearing this, I want to be a part of something like that. Mm-hmm. In Peru, I'm going with a group called the MSSP, who are already based there. They're a Maltese-based society. The MSSP is the Missionary Society of St. Paul, and so I have a connection with this society, so I'm basically just donating my services to the parish in Arequipa.
How many of these type of trips have you done over the last few years?
So I've been over to Samoa, the Philippines, Sri Lanka. One of the things I know about you is that you do like to take on board a few challenges, mm-hmm. and one of the biggest challenges that I can imagine is the Camino de Santiago in Spain. Mm-hmm. Having sort of met you and just sort of listening to you today talk mm-hmm. about a few things with your family, mm-hmm. It sounds like an incredible journey. Could you sort of just tell us a little bit about what made you look at going over and doing that? What made me do it? I'm not really sure. I was first introduced to it by our parish priest here. He went and did it and came back and showed some photos, and as soon as I saw like a few pictures of these like beautiful old medieval paths and things like that, I just said I have to do that. And then it was just sitting in the back of my mind for probably 5 or 6 years, and next thing I knew, I was drawn to it, and and then I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning in France and went on my way and started walking. So the route that you took, did it start in France and finish all the way into Spain, or how did you approach it? Yeah, so there's a traditional sort of route. You can start the walk anywhere you want, but the traditional starting place is in a place called Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Pont. This is in France, and it finishes over in Santiago. But I've also started it down in Portugal as well, and So the whole idea of this walk is, people from many different regions all coming together at the same point. So, and the symbol of the Camino is the scallop shell. So you have all of those values in the scallop shell all coming together at the same point.
So with, I believe you've done it twice, 2.5 times?
2.5 times,
yeah. So obviously there's something that draws you back, that has made you want to go back and experience it again. This seems like it's a very popular pilgrimage for a lot of young Australians. Would you recommend it for anyone that's sort of looking at, I guess, setting off and discovering a bit more of who they are and what they are?
Definitely. I highly recommend it. I mean, I've roped my brother into it, and I've had mum and dad also walk the Camino, and friends as well. So, I think that time on your own does help help you to discover more about who you really are. For sure.
Thank you very much for your time, and all the best for your time in Peru and Haiti. Thank you.
Thanks much.
U bekk wasalna fit-tmiem programm ieħor Maltese DownUnder. Dawk li jixtiequ jagħmlu kuntatt magħna tistgħu tagħmlu dan permezz tal-email maltesetv@gmail.com jew inkella segwuna fuq il-paġna tagħna fuq Facebook Maltese DownUnder. Jiena Marlin nixtieqilkom il-kumplament tal-jum it-tajjeb u nagħtikom appuntament ieħor għal bħallum ġimgħa fl-istess ħin. Saħħa!